Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Today I am hopefully going to be getting through a WIP and chat. I've already spilled drills today, so that's done. I think I have everything set up, so let's see how far I get before I get interrupted. My phone is off, but my children are both home, and I'm at the dining room table because today I am working on Diana, and I will try to stick a picture of her over there. This is very confetti heavy, and I have made some nice progress over this last week, but I've had her sitting out on my dining room table. I'm trying to get through this section, and then I've got two more, and then I'll be all the way across the canvas for the parts that I've been working on. And then she is going to get hung up for a while so I can work on my Lenore canvas, which is the one that I am doing for the JBG Along event this month. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and we'll see how much talking I can get in before my children interrupt me. Let's see, what do I want to talk about? Well, I mentioned events, so let's just talk about events. I am doing the JBG Along, as I said, for July. I had made a list of my own kind of things that I wanted to do for each month back at the beginning of the year. That has kind of gone by the wayside because I made it thinking that I wouldn't find a lot of events to participate in, because when I first started diamond painting, I didn't have a lot of luck finding them. Of course, at the time I was not, really involved in social media. I didn't have the YouTube channel. I wasn't following a lot of diamond painters on YouTube. So all of that has changed. And because that has changed, I have discovered that rather than not finding any events, I find myself a little bit overwhelmed with events sometimes, because I want to participate in them because they're fun. It's fun to watch other people kind of work on the same sorts of things and see other people's canvases and see how other people work. But there's always that I just have too many projects going on at once, and I'm really bad at overextending myself. And so yeah, I saw an announcement yesterday on Diamonds and Washi that she and Tiny Worlds of Wonder, the ones who did the Summer with the Masters event that I did, are going to be doing the drills and chills for October, which I had heard of. There are kind of some, I guess, events that go year to year. Like every year there's usually a Chuck Along where everyone does a Chuck Pinson. There's the drills and chills, which is kind of the Halloween spooky whatever. And I'm sure there's others that I'm unaware of that are kind of a yearly thing. See, and this is what I mean about this canvas. I just did this color and I already missed one right there. So what I have found with this canvas and the confetti, to avoid making myself nuts, when I find that, I just leave it, because odds are I'm going to find another one that I missed as well. So instead of pulling it out immediately and going back and trying to fill it in immediately and then think, okay, I'm done with that color for this section, I just kind of go, oh, okay, I'm going to have to pull that one out again and go on. Because what I found working on this canvas, because of the amount of confetti, that if I did that, like I'm literally pulling out colors, some of them 5, 6, 7, 8 times, because when there's this amount of confetti, it's just so easy to miss. And that may drive some people crazy, having that amount of confetti. I know not everyone likes confetti. but I don't mind it. I just, rather than touching everything 5 and 6 times, I just kind of leave it. And on that note, I guess I should explain some terms. One, if you're new here, welcome. I should have said that at the beginning. Two, WIP time is work in progress time. So you can grab what you're working on and listen to me while I chat about whatever comes to mind, or you can just watch me work. Either way is fine with me. And see, I just saw another one right there that I missed. So if I'd pulled that one out and finished it, then I would have seen that one and I would have had to go pull it out again. So yeah, it's just easier for me to I try to pick one that I can see a lot of, which given the confetti is not easy, and then do that. So back to terms. Man, I'm skipping around a lot today. Sorry, guys. Confetti. Confetti is what we call sections like this where there are a lot of colors in one section versus its opposite, which is color blocking, where there's a lot of one color in one section, which really haven't seen a lot of in this canvas. If I get to a part where I can do any kind of multi-placing, I count myself lucky. So like the paint roller here, I'll be able to do some multi-placing. That's about as good as it gets in this canvas for multi-placing. Just because that's how these kits work. However, I love Josephine Wall. I love this painting. And so I just try to remind myself, you know, it's a process. I'm not in this to, you know, be in a race to get done with anybody other than myself, because, you know, I'm always trying to get done, move on to the next thing so that I can diamond paint more. But like I was telling my husband, I'm trying to remember that, you know, for me, it is about the process. It's about having fun while I'm doing this. If it ever becomes not fun, then I'm doing it wrong. Although I'm not doing this for a hobby, that's how it started out. I mean, it is still a hobby for me in many ways, even though I have this YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has kind of its own purpose, but I diamond paint to relax. And so, and there's another one up there that I missed. That's what I try to remember, that, you know, I'm doing this to relax. I'm doing this to kind of get in that Zen flow state, whatever you want to call it, where I am, you know, having fun and relaxing. Because if it's not fun and it's not relaxing, then like I said, I'm doing it wrong. I mean, if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it? I guess that's kind of my question for some of these people. Because some people act like they don't enjoy it. Or, I don't know, maybe the enjoyment they get out of it is not the process of diamond painting. Maybe the joy they get out of it is the process of something else. I don't know. For me, it's the Zen state, the relaxation, the meditation that I kind of get out of it. Especially as my husband is out of town working, whenever he is, I will do like this and put, you know, a big project like this on my dining room table. And even when he's home during the week, you know, I will put on a TV show or something for us to watch. We'll watch a lot of YouTube channels, and so we'll watch that. And, you know, he'll do his own thing while I diamond paint, and we'll have the TV on and we'll either be watching something together, or, you know, I'll have what he calls my dead people shows on. And I watch those a lot during the week. So I'm trying to look here and see what I want to do next. I have found with this canvas, I had lots of people say that, you know, they organize these canvases differently because there's so many colors. This canvas here has 250 colors. So when there's that many colors, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. And so when I first started this canvas and I kitted it up, and I'll try to put a link up in the corner so that you can see when I did the kit up for this. It took quite a while, as you can imagine, because there are 250 colors, and there are some canvases that have even more. I have one that has 300 colors, and I've heard of a Josephine Wall that has either 325 or 350 colors. But when you have that many colors and you kit them up, they're kind of so spread out all over the place that, you know, it's not as easy to kind of learn, okay, I need number 40, I need this, I need that. So when I diamond paint by the symbol. The symbol is typically what is on my containers. It will have a number, like these are the stickers provided by Diamond Painting Deutschland. It's got the symbol and then it's got the DMC number, because there are no, like, they don't number their colors 1 through 250 or whatever. So, but even with Diamond Art Club, even though the number will be on there in addition to the symbol and the DMC, I almost always paint by the symbol, and that's what I go by. So when I was kitting this up and after sharing some of my working on it, people were asking if I had it in DMC number, if I had it in, you know, organized differently. And there were several people who told me different ways to organize it. Some people organize it by color. So like they'll take all of the browns and put them in one section, and then they'll take all of the blues and put them in one section, etc., etc. Somebody else said they group the symbols together. So like everything that was a letter, say, would go in one section. Everything that was an arrow would go in one section. And that would be how they kitted it up. And when I first started, I just left them in DMC order because I thought, okay, that's going to be the way that I personally get the least confused. Just because that's typically how I kit them up, is in DMC order. And I'm just looking here to see if there are any other of this symbol, and I'm sure I'm going to miss one, but I try to at least go over it and see if there's any kind of obvious ones that I missed. Anyway, so they'll put all the symbols together, and so then they can, you know, better keep track of what is where. I considered doing that, but honestly, after having worked on it for I think 70 some hours now, I have gotten to the point where I know where most of the symbols are. Up to this point, there's kind of been, I would say, about half of the symbols that I use on a regular basis in this section. So I've just kind of learned where they are, which containers they're in, because I'm using 4 different kinds of storage. I have bottle containers like this, but I have 2 different ones. I've got my small 30 bottle case, and then I've got a big 60 bottle case. And then I've got 2 Tic Tac containers full of various colors. And then I have 2 of the little 28 slot container systems filled with colors as well. So I've just kind of learned, okay, I know this color is in the 30 bottle case, this color is in the 60 bottle case, this color is in, you know, that Tic Tac container, this color is in the other Tic Tac container, so that I kind of know where everything is. Now, if it's a symbol that I haven't used very much, then sometimes I have to go on the hunt for it. So like the little martini glass that you saw me using earlier, that I missed one down here. A couple of days ago, I was working on a section that had that, and I hadn't had that one really before. And so I thought it was in the Tic Tac containers, and it's not. It's in one of the bottle containers. So sometimes I have to go get my little inventory sheet the little inventory sheets that they send you. Oh, my glue came out. Gosh darn it. This, I will say, this is one of the things I do not like about this tip. The little space inside for it to hold wax and glue and whatnot is not very big. And so sometimes, yeah, I just can't get it as full as I want it to keep things going. But anyway, what was I saying? Tic Tac containers, martini glass. Anyway, I've kind of am learning where things are as I go. So I have left them all in DMC order just because now that I've kind of learned where they all are, I think if I move them all around, that would just confuse me even more. And I already spend enough time kind of hunting for colors that I don't want to add to that by confusing myself. And then now that I've moved them around, suddenly I'm hunting everywhere. So yeah, I've just kind of left it as it is for now. And this section and the ones I've done over here have been kind of awkward just because I'm kind of reaching almost the middle of the canvas. And so because of the way I'm sitting, I'm kind of having to stretch out to reach everything, which is not the most comfortable way in the world to do this. But once I get done with this WIP and chat, I'm going to move myself around so that I'm setting sideways to the canvas. But I thought maybe that would be confusing while I'm doing the WIP and chat. So I wanted to keep it kind of oriented the same way as the canvas so that it didn't confuse people in the video. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, yeah, events. I just, like I said, I thought I would have trouble finding them, and then I've kind of each month as things have gone along have found, okay, well, I'm going to participate in that. You know, I found the Sea Creature DP Fun event that I did the seahorse for. I found the Summer with the Masters event that I finished 2 different canvases for. I found the JBG along, which I am now doing a canvas for. I don't know if I'm going to do drills and chills. Halloween has never been my favorite holiday. I don't like horror movies and scary things and stuff like that. If it's cute, if I can find a cute canvas, then maybe. But I'm also really trying not to buy a whole lot of stuff right now because I'm off for the summer. So, you know, the income that I would normally have, I don't have right now. And quite honestly, I have plenty of things in my stash. I don't need to be buying any additional diamond paintings at the moment. So I did spend last weekend, my husband and I spent some time moving some things around. He purchased a resin printer. We've had a 3D filament printer and he's played around with it before, but he's wanted a resin printer for a while, so he finally found one, and so he went ahead and bought one, and he's been kind of playing around with it. He's actually playing around with printing me some diamond painting trays because I'm on the hunt for that ever elusive perfect diamond painting tray, and I have yet to find it. I'm going to be doing a tray comparison at some point on the channel. I have a couple more trays that I'm waiting on to come in that I've ordered. And I'm going to be doing a comparison of all of them, kind of, you know, everything from the green boats to these little cheap white ones that you get, to some ones that are, you know, plastic but that I've purchased that are a little bit bigger, to I think I have probably 7 or 8 3D printed ones I've purchased from various Etsy shops and elsewhere trying to find that perfect tray. And I just haven't found one that I love yet. Honestly, the one that I've used the most is probably this cheapy one. I don't even remember where it came from, but it just seems to fit the best in my hand. I get the best result shaking my drills. I don't like these little tiny ones because I shake too hard and I have trouble getting them to lay in there the way I want. I use it with Diana because for the most part with her, I don't need a whole lot of drills, no matter what color I'm working on. And so because this one has a funnel, it's just easier to work with one that's this little while I'm kind of doing all of these little colors. But this isn't, I don't like it that much. I mean, I'm using it for reasons, but yeah, I just wish I could find one that I really like. And I've tried various 3D printed ones, like I've said, but they just, even ones that everyone else is just like, oh my God, these are the best trays ever. I just haven't found any that are for me. So I have one more kind of everyone in the diamond painting community loves these trays to try. So as soon as I get them, we'll see. If not, my husband, like I said, is kind of working on building one to sort of my specifications and how I think it should go. He can only work on it on the weekends when he's home, so haven't had a lot of luck kind of trying to get it all printed up. And he did the first one, and then I wanted some changes made, so he's made changes. Okay guys, sorry, waiting for everyone to clear out. It was lunchtime, and since I'm in the dining room, waiting for everyone to clear out of the kitchen so I could finish this WIP and chat. So anyway, let's see, what was I talking about? Talked a little bit about events. Do you guys have any events that you like to do every year? Do you have one that you're looking forward to this year? What do you get out of events? Is it because they offer prizes? For me, it's not so much about the prizes as it is about just being able to participate and kind of feel that, like I said, that sense of community. Because I don't even usually enter for the prizes. I just do it so that I can have a canvas and I can help participate. So, and I have, I think that's what I started to tell you guys about. Anyway, if you have an event that you think is cool that you would like to share with everyone, that you think not everybody knows about, please feel free, leave some information in the comments. I'm always looking for cool events to participate in. Anyway, what I started to tell you guys was this last weekend, my husband and I spent a bunch of time moving things around. He bought his resin printer and he was working on stuff with that, and we needed to move some things around. And I wanted to move some things around in my craft room / office so that I could get some more things in the room. I also wanted to kind of change how my filming setup is so that when I have like long canvases, the way I have it set up right now, I can't really, it's hard to show kind of long canvases without bringing them out here to the dining room table. And my lighting out here is not great, so rather than having to move a bunch of stuff back and forth, I moved some stuff around in my office so that I would have room to do that. So I can now kind of move my setup around a little bit more than I could before. We moved a bookcase up into my office so that I could get a bunch of my canvases that are in my stash up off the floor, which has been good. Although now it looks like I don't have as much laying on the floor, which is nice and I like, because I like everything to kind of be nice and neat and put away. But is also kind of weird because now it looks like I don't have very much, and so I'm like, oh, so now I have room to buy some more. And I have to keep reminding myself, no, the whole reason I moved things was so that I would have more room to move around in there. And ordering more canvases kind of defeats the purpose of that. So I'm trying to kind of stick to smaller things. And I've been buying things that aren't necessarily kits. I bought some crystal drills. I bought some more steel tips. I'm going to do at some point a comparison of tips too, because I've discovered some I like better than others. And I've bought them kind of from a variety of places, and they're all different prices. So I kind of want to, just even for myself, kind of go through and be like, okay, where did I get these and how much were they? Because which ones do I like the best and which ones do I want more of? Because I do have enough now that most of my pens have steel tips on them, either the tips or the barrels. And actually, I need to buy some more pens too. So I want to buy some more pens from my fancy French place, but I haven't done that yet because I've been buying some other things. So I bought a crystal canvas to try. After seeing it on somebody else's YouTube, I thought, oh, well, I want to try this and see how the crystals are kind of different from regular drills. I mean, I've seen them, you know, when I'm doing like special shape drills and you get some crystals and rhinestones and things, but I've never done a whole canvas that's just those, like a full canvas. See, and I looked all over and there's an eye that I missed that I just did, I swear. That's how this painting goes for me. I think I'd get all of them, spend all my time looking around to make sure I got all of them, and then nope. So I am pleased with how much progress I've made on this one in the last couple of days, though. I've spent the last couple of days really kind of working on it, and I mean, of course, the more you work on it, the more progress you make, but because this is such a large canvas, kind of figuring out where and how to work on it. And of course, before I had it kind of stuck down in the basement, so it was one of those kind of out of sight, out of mind things, which is bad for me because she laid down there for a lot longer than I intended because I was just busy doing other things, and she wasn't on my mind because she wasn't front and center. So what I did was I went out and I bought some hangers, the kind that you get to, you know, like hang up skirts or pants or whatever that have the little clippy things on them. And I got some of those so that I can use them to hang this canvas, hang it over the back of my closet door while I'm working on it, so that I can have it where I can see it, but it's up out of the way and it's not taking up a lot of space. So currently I have my Lenore hanging up, so as soon as I'm ready to switch those out, I will be putting this one up where Lenore is and then putting Lenore out. Although Lenore is a little bit smaller, so I can fit her on my drafting table. She still hangs over a little bit, and I may still put her on the dining room table just because during the week we don't really eat at the table. My kids kind of come and go. They're old enough, they do their own thing. So I don't, like, they make their own lunches and dinners kind of things. Every once in a while I'll cook dinner, but not very often because I hate to cook. I don't even like to just cook for myself. I'd rather be diamond painting. So I'll just make myself something quick and the kids can kind of fend for themselves. So, truth be told, they prefer my husband's cooking anyway, so they'd rather wait until he gets home and eat his cooking. Trying to make sure I'm getting most of these. The little piano keys. And I don't know if you can tell, I finished this section below this is kind of the moth in the picture of Diana. So there's a little bit of the moth kind of here. And then this is kind of blending into something else. I'm not sure what's underneath the other sections because I haven't got to them yet. And Diamond Painting Deutschland does not put a picture. There's no thumbnail of the picture on the canvas anywhere. So unless I like pull out my logbook or I go, you know, look up on one of my apps where I have a picture of her, sometimes it's hard to remember what's coming up next in the picture. So I've reached her face though, so that's exciting. I've done her chin. So I'm going to finish working my way right to left across the canvas here. And then as I get done with this section, then as I finish these last 3 sections across here, then I will be on the other side, on the right hand side. It'll be a pretty big section of her face next, I'm expecting. So that will be exciting. I'm hoping I'll get to do some multi-placing there because that would be nice to just be able to make a lot of progress at once, because some sections go faster than others. Some just have more confetti than others, obviously. Though the section I did before this one, the one's right next to this one, that one section took me probably 4 hours. Now, I was getting up and going back and forth and doing some other things at the same time, but for the most part, yeah, just working on the canvas, just because there were so many colors in that section. Now, the section before that had her chin in it went really fast because it was a lot of flesh-colored drills, and so it just went faster. So that part was nice. Okay, I'm going to do the little paint rollers here because there's quite a few of those. Let's see how many of those I can fill up. See, there's one random one way over here. And they all kind of go down there, but I've got a bunch in here too. So just trying to make sure. That is the one nice thing about these sections. It's kind of like, okay, up in this section, I've got a couple, so I can do those. And then there's no real till I get down to this big section. So makes it a little bit easier. And that's the other thing I found with this, in addition to just kind of, you know, I probably should have made my sections a little bit smaller, but I just left them sort of the same size as my release papers. There's a little bit of overlap, as you can see down here in the corner, but I just kind of left them that way because I figured that would be easiest. So that may be why my sections take me longer than maybe some other people. They're doing sections that are not quite so big. But anyway, yeah, looking forward to getting to her face so I can do some, maybe some more multi-placing and not quite so much single placing. Although I know there are people who don't ever multi-place, who do everything single place. Which, you know, if that's what you like, you do what you want. Don't let other people tell you how to do things. Even me. I'm a firm believer in you should do what makes you happy, and you're the only person who can decide that. Because what makes me happy might not make you happy. For instance, it made my grandmother happy to be barefoot. She hated shoes. She grew up during the Depression and spent most of her childhood running around without shoes because they couldn't afford them. they got new shoes for school, and that was it, the beginning of the school year. So most of the summer she spent running around barefoot, and as a consequence, when she got older, she hated wearing shoes. Every chance she'd get, she was barefoot. Me, on the other hand, I hate being barefoot. I would much rather have shoes on than be barefoot. Of course, I also have the issue of I'm often freezing, and my hands and feet are often the first things to get cold. So I generally have, if I'm not wearing shoes, I at least have socks on my feet. Even during the summer, because my husband is Canadian and he gets hot very easily. So, plus he works outside all day, so when he comes home and wants to cool off, you know, we have it turned down so that he can cool off, which means that I'm cold. As you can see, even right now, I'm wearing a sweatshirt because I got a little bit cold. So I generally try to remember to turn up the air conditioning, especially when he's not home, and then just turn it down when it's getting close to time for him being home from work. But sometimes I forget. You know, it's an automatic system, so sometimes I just forget to turn it down, and then all of a sudden I'm too cold. So I think I'm gonna get my multi-placer going for some of these because I can. And that's few and far between with this canvas, so. It's always nice when I can do some multi-placing, because like I said, it doesn't happen very often with this canvas. So it just makes it feel like you get, I guess that's a benefit to it, especially on a canvas like this. It makes you feel like you get so much more done just doing those short little bits of multi-placing. It's like, oh wow, look how many drills I placed at once, instead of doing it all one by one. So I have discovered that I like multi-placing, but a 4 is about as big as I can go. I tried using a 7 and an 8. It was not pretty. I can't, for whatever reason, I can't keep the drills straight. I don't place them straight when I get more than, I'm shaking the camera, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my drills lined up here. I can't, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't get them all lined up straight when I'm placing them. See, I just messed that up. Let me pour a few more drills in here. Trying to get them lined up so I have 4 in a row. And as you can see, that's one of the reasons I don't like this tray, because I'm not good at shaking my drills. I watched someone do a video on kind of getting your drills to line up and picking out good and bad ones and how she does it. I will say, as far as picking good and bad ones go, I don't have a lot of that to do. One of the things I also love about this canvas is their drills are really nice quality. I have spent 70 some hours working on this canvas, and I have less trash to show from it than I have some 30 by 40 canvases that I've done. So yeah, the drill quality is very nice, no complaints. And you're always going to have a few pieces of trash, but for the most part, these have been really good. So no complaints from me. So anyway, 2, 3, and 4 multi-placing is about as big as I get. Apparently, if I get too much more than that, I can't get them to line up the way I want, and I find myself spending more time fixing the drills that I placed than I do placing drills, which is annoying. The point is to diamond paint right, to get the drills on the canvas, not to spend all of your time straightening them. I mean, I do spend some time straightening them after I get done with a section, obviously. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time doing that. Okay, let's see. Did I miss any of these? I'm sure I'm going to, but I at least try to make myself give it a once over before I put, oh, there's one right there, before I put a color away. Because like I said, I'm sure there will be ones that I've missed, but I just try to tell myself if I only have to get it out twice, which is what I try to do, then that should be good. So, and I'm in it for the process, right? I'm not in it to just get done as quick as I can. I mean, sometimes I just want to get done because, you know, if you're not enjoying the canvas or whatever, or for me, usually when I'm rushing, it's because I'm trying to get something done so that I can move on to the next video for YouTube, which is not great, admittedly. I mean, again, I like doing this for my own peace of mind and relaxation and enjoyment. So, but I knew going into, you know, starting the YouTube channel that there was a chance that, you know, that would be impacted by some of what I had to do. And that's okay. It's all good. I'm actually finding that I really enjoy having the YouTube channel. I mean, I have goals for it, obviously, but just I'm enjoying the process of making the videos and learning how to edit and editing the videos. I actually don't mind editing videos. I know some people who've started YouTube channels have said that that is their least favorite part. I don't mind it at all. So that's been nice. I do need to spend some time kind of figuring out some ins and outs of what I do and kind of upping my editing skills, but for right now I'm happy with the way things are going, and I've got diamond canvases to diamond paint, so I try to do some of that, you know, administrative stuff that has to do with the channel, editing, uploading, responding to comments, that sort of thing. I try to do that, you know, of an evening or, you know, time that I wouldn't necessarily be diamond painting anyway, so that it's not kind of eating into my crafting time, which, you know, don't get me wrong, I have a lot more crafting time now than I would normally because I'm off for the summer. That will change here shortly. I can't believe my summer vacation is almost half over. It's gone too quickly. I'm not ready to go back. I have been doing some work for when we head back to school. We are in the process of kind of revamping how our school library works with our kids. So I've been working on that with my boss during the week. However, she is on vacation this week, so I am sort of by default on vacation this week as well. I'm not going into work, which I have been doing, but I was actually working on doing some lesson planning and some other things that I need to do, kind of some of those administrative things that you have to take care of, you know, when you're teaching that aren't that much fun, but have to get done so that you have lessons to teach the kids. So I do all the lesson planning for everyone at school. So, and we're adding a new class this year. It's not really a new class, but it's a class we didn't have last year because of COVID and all of the things going on with it. So it'll be my first time kind of planning and adding in for this class, which will be fun, but is new. So I need to spend some time kind of working on things for it, which I've been doing. So, because I would like to have some of this done before I actually go back to work, just so it's not quite so hectic when I go back. There's one that I missed. I've often thought it would be nice to have a job where you just go to work, you do your job, and you come home, and there's nothing to like bring home with you. But I've been teaching for the last well, since 2004, really. So I took a couple of years off there. Even when I took off, I was still teaching some college classes. So, yeah, since 2004, either full-time or part-time, I've been teaching, and I like it. Oh, there's one right there. But yeah, I've often thought, wonder what it'd be like to have a job where you didn't have to bring any of your work home, because it seems like I'm either lesson planning or was grading papers or inputting grades or, doing all those not fun things that go along with teaching. Parent-teacher conferences, continuing ed, which I still have to do some of that sort of stuff. I actually just signed up for my continuing ed for next year. I have to have so many hours every year. So even as a preschool teacher, you have to have so many hours every year. And so signed up for some classes to take. Of course, we do some in-house continuing ed, so I have that as well, but I still need to take some outside classes, so I signed up for those. Those will start in August, so we start a little bit behind other schools because kind of like siblings get situated in their school before we start preschool. So we won't start school until almost the end of August. So I've still got some time, but yeah, it's going way faster than I thought it would already. Isn't that the way vacations and summers always go? Everyone thinks teachers just kind of take the summer off, but that's not true. Most teachers I know during the summer are taking college classes or taking those continuing ed classes because there's no time to take them during the school year. You're so busy with so many other things. And I know when I was teaching at the high school level, they don't just want you to teach, they want you to quote unquote sponsor things. So, whether you're coaching something, a sport, or, something academic like Scholars Bowl or NHS or something like that, or whether you're on committees that require meetings or part of, teams, like when you work in a high school, like all the departments, like the English department, the science department, etc., you'll have meetings for those. Meetings, endless meetings. Yeah. And then you throw parents into the mix. Oh, see, I missed a spaceship right there. See, no matter how hard I look, I miss something. I'm doing baby carriages now. There aren't that many of those, so hopefully I won't miss too many of them. Oh, I missed another spaceship right there, too. There's a baby carriage. So, yeah, that was one of the reasons I got out of out of high school public school teaching, was because there was just always something else, some other demand on your time. It feels like you're working two jobs because you work all day teaching kids, and then you spend your afternoon/early evening doing things like practices or going to competitions or whatever. And then, you come home and try to spend some time with your family, and then you've got papers to grade. And I admittedly had more papers than most, probably because I taught English. So, you actually have to sit down and read through papers and things. It's not something, we don't have TAs that I could hand it off to and things like that. So yeah, it just seemed like there were never enough hours in the day, and that gets old really fast. So I much prefer teaching preschool. I'm only doing it part-time, but still much prefer it over teaching full-time, even if I'm doing things that I have to take home with me. Because like right now, I can be working ahead on my lesson plans and getting things prepared, and so there's not so much for me to do when school actually starts. and then I won't have so much kind of on my plate. Last year, because I had just taken over kind of doing lesson plans for everyone, I was only working a month ahead at a time. And this year I would like to have at least 6 months, if not the whole year, kind of tentatively planned out before we go back to school. And of course, you know, plans are always subject to change. I plan stuff, and then, you know, if we've got to do things on the fly because something comes up or whatever, we all know that's going to happen. But I would like to have at least a plan sort of set in place so that we all kind of know, you know, what's what before we head into the school year proper. Plus, that's less work for me at the end of the day because everything's already kind of been planned out ahead of schedule. And if I need to make changes on the fly, I can. That's much easier than coming up with a whole new set of plans on the fly. So my neighbors are out mowing their lawn. Trying to make sure, I'm sure I'm going to miss some, but trying to make sure I got as many as I can see. Kind of looking over this carefully. Nope, there's one right there I missed. So I also have some more storage I want to try. More pens. I think I have mostly all the trays I'm going to do now. From now on, I'll probably, if I'm still looking for that perfect tray, I will probably just have my husband do it for me. Pen tips, I think I have enough until I order some more pens at least. So once I order some more pens, then I'll need some more tips, but it's always fun and exciting to try new things, right? New pens, new tips, new trays, all of that kind of stuff is exciting. I'm actually reaching the point with this canvas now where I am putting out enough, have put out enough drills, have finished enough of the canvas that I've emptied some containers, which is exciting. Only Tic Tac containers, which is admittedly not as exciting as I would like it to be, but every little bit counts, right? The more I empty, the closer I am to being done. That's the hard part, I think, about a canvas like this is there's so many colors and they send extras. So plus it's so big, there's no way to be like, okay, I'm definitely finished with this color like you could with other canvases. I mean, I guess I could if I went through and just worked on the canvas color by color. That would make me crazy though. I know some people do it that way, but trying to keep everything covered and keep track of everything, I think that would make me bananas trying to do it that way. But if that's how you like to work, like I said, you do you. I'm going to work how I like to work. So sometimes I lose track of my place too, where I'm working. It's like, where did I just place that last drill? I do find I have to take breaks from this kind of more often than I do other canvases just to give my eyeballs a break. Just to kind of give my eyeballs that, you know, instead of close up looking off in the distance for a few minutes kind of thing. That's one of the reasons I like to turn the TV on and have it on kind of for background noise. But it also gives me a chance to, every once in a while, kind of look up at the TV and give my eyes that long distance focus rather than close-up focus. Because that's what can strain your eyes, is that you're not kind of shifting back and forth. So I try to make sure I'm doing that at least, just to give my eyes a break. Because Lord knows my eyes are bad enough. My brother told me the other day he's wearing trifocals. I didn't even know they made those. Wonder if I should get some of them. I feel like I do okay with my reading glasses. I have bifocals, but they give me a headache. And so I found I actually do better with just my reading glasses. And I just went to the eye doctor and they told me that I'm doing great. Still got 20/20 vision, you know, far. I need my reading glasses up close, but my vision hasn't changed in the last couple of years, so that's always good. Once you hit that dreaded 4.0 and beyond, they say your eyes change every year. Nope, I missed an eyeball right there. See, told ya, never fails. I think that's why that section took me so long yesterday, was I wasn't doing what I tried to tell myself I would do, is, you know, finish a color and then just know that I'm going to have to go back to it. I would pull it and try to finish it, and I'd find myself pulling that same color out 3, 4, 5 times, and I was just making myself frustrated. So yeah, I know I'm going to miss some of these too, and I'm just going to place as many as I can, and if I have to pull it out a second time, I have to pull it out a second time. Hopefully by then I'll have more filled in, so it'll be more obvious which ones I'm missing. That's the other thing about filling it in. So okay, it looks like I might actually get some multi-placing with this one in a couple of spots, so that's good. But I think it's about time for me to end my WIP and chat here, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you worked on your WIP and chat, I hope you made some good progress. If you want to follow me over on Instagram to see my progress, I do post pictures there more often than anything else. At Diamond Painting Anonymous on Instagram. You can find me over there. Also, don't forget to sign up below for my Random Acts of Kindness form. If you do sign up for the Random Act of Kindness form, guys, please, please, please remember to include your entire address. I have had a slew of them in the last 2 or 3 weeks where people are not including their address. If you're out of the country, please include your country, but even in the States, I need your city, state, and zip code, guys. I don't have the time to go look it up if you guys don't provide it. So, and I would love to send you something as a random act of kindness. So please make sure that you're including your entire address so that I can do that for you. I have sent out a couple batches, so if you've signed up, be looking for those. If you haven't got anything, please be patient. I am going to be sending out another batch here shortly. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to do all the things on your way out. Hit that thumbs up button to give me a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. That really helps out my channel. And hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching.